Peggy 18.
Only to have it swallow them whole.
I think there were kind of three key things we identified that the community was looking for, and certainly reviews as well. We did a lot of focus testing to just try and look at what our focus should be for Dragon Age 2. And so the graphics seemed to be number one. Especially for console players, they felt that they weren't getting the same level of fidelity as PC. PC players seemed to feel it wasn't very unique, right? There was kind of that feedback that it was a little generic fantasy, which is fair. Second, of course, was combat, where people were like, well, I really like it, but what we decided was they felt it wasn't responding properly. What we realized that it just wasn't reactive enough. So that became a major focus for us. And finally, people just loved the story. Like, there was tons of feedback there. So we thought, okay, so we obviously have a mandate to make sure we're telling another epic story. But within our own team, we decided we don't want to just staple two archdemons together and call it done, because that would be less than ideal. Sure, a lot of people were wondering, would the Morrigan story be where we obviously picked up for DA2? And that's the thing, it's somewhat obvious to pick up there. So by no means are we finished with Morrigan's story. That's been a consistent line. I'm refusing to say anything more because it's such a tease. But to be fair, what we wanted to do was take a look at not just building an army, not just fighting the Blight, but to try and see what kind of impact one person could have on the world. Now, Morrigan's one of those people. She certainly will have that kind of impact. But Hawk, the character that you play in Dragon Age 2, is going to cover an entire decade of history, and what we've argued is that by the time he's finished, or she, Hawk will have basically been involved in events that have changed the very face of Dragon Age. And I think what you might find is that some of those changes will set us up for future stories, including the Morrigan one. Vous trouvez Dragon Age 2 en masse.